This video was shot at twitch.tv/dmonthhour.
Oh, this is the dance room. I thought we were still underground. What if I don't want to investigate the stage game? What are you gonna do then? I can't get down that section. Okay. I was probably called a bunch of times, too many, and for stupid stuff. Yeah, just things happen. Oh, there's a... There's a thing. Can we interact with thing? No. Okay. So literally the only thing I can do is come down here. Okay. Get to jam out to some tunes. There's us. Yes, thank you, ringing. Do you want a hug? Oh, hey, how's it going? I mean, your ideas are pretty sound. It's just entirely down to the way the game is made. And as a person that is accustomed to FPS shooters and stuff like this, it's pretty okay. But having an FPS cap, especially on a computer, throws you off a lot. Because I'm used to easily hitting 120 plus in basically any other game I play. To watch this lady fall over again for whatever reason. How far deep exactly? There's the mask, okay. Are you breathing? Who's breathing? I don't know if I'm starting to see things, but okay. A lot of words written down. Alright. I should be able to just go here and save, right? Yes, okay. Thank you, game. Run to the save. So in real time, that took about 50 minutes to do. At the time, go down to like 100 words. When you're writing in your journal. What? Oh, did it just trick you the same thing over here again? Bet you it did. It did. Okay. Oh, for your story? Okay. I mean, yeah, when you're going through and editing stuff like that, it just changes a lot, and then you end up with less or sometimes more. Oh, there's stairs on that side. Okay. Alright. How does this moonlight reflect on us? Actually, pretty well. I don't know what's with Fatal Frame, but their hair physics are always freaking beautiful. Like the casual whipping back and forth as you move the head. Yeah, I mean, if you handwrite 1,000 words in a day, like that would be interesting. Alright, I'll click the save bunch at a time. Anytime you do something important, you put a save. Like, that's also how you gotta be in video games. If you're not saving every time you come across the checkpoint, are you really playing the game? Like, I remember, what was I doing? That goes down. And there's my item. Okay. I remember doing part of Shadows. Like, one of the first or second streams that I did of it. Excuse me, game. You give me this before boss fight. Why? How much do I have? 2. Got it. Okay. But yeah, during one of the first, like, 2 streams of playing Shadows of Loathing, I forgot to save at one point, and then it went to an autosave as the most recent, which was like an hour and a half or something behind what I had done. Oh, okay, bye. We're gonna go over here. What if I say no? Oh, that's Soya. Oh, okay, so that's our father. Oh, well, that's not what I was... Or was... There wasn't any... Just didn't fucking trigger. Cool. Alright. Ah. Can you be done, please? No? Alright. Oh, you actually want to spawn in front of me this time. Okay, cool. Bold choice. And now that item is gone. I do think she would date Hangman. That would be an interesting group. Drink more water. Following our father, and then probably going downstairs. That door is freaking out down there. Can you see that? Oh, hey, that's broken. That's a tree out there. Okay. Penguin popcorn. There's a door here. I don't think we're going that way just yet. But, we'll find out. Wait, father, come back. I have my mask right here. Oh, there's most definitely an item here. Where'd it... You just... There it is. Should I... Okay, can I even do anything with that? I can. Okay. We need this. And I'm one off from that. Okay. Actually, it's gonna be best to get that, actually. And then do max power next. So that does give me 4 charges. Yeah, I know. Oh, why you black and white? Are we getting jumped by a ghost? For a moment there, I thought she wasn't wearing an undershirt, and I was about to be seriously concerned. Did I just complete the chapter? I did, didn't I? I did. Fuck. I had another option. No! Alright, fine, but we're gonna put this one here. Yomatsuki Residence Entryway. And yeah, I did clear the chapter. Okay. I know each of the endings has a choice. Because that's how basically every single Fatal Frame game is. Oh, we're Choshiro now? So we're the detective. Discovers the procedures performed on his patients were both inhumane and illegal. They're being used as subject by director Shikoto Bari to some unknown end. Shikoto's son, Yo, was also complicit in these crimes. But why was Shikoto so obsessed with finding a cure for Moonlight Syndrome? Was there a to Karaga summary, with the Karaga being the cause of Moonlight Syndrome? In so many patients, the Hibaras believed that its mask and music had the key to a cure. Karaga was also being held on the day of the girl's disappearances 10 years ago. Is this more than just a coincidence? Something, something. Okay. And it looks like we're going after, Garden? After the last fellow, I came here in pursuit of Hibara. I saw that woman, and I can't remember after that. Where's this? There it is. Yuko Magaki's paintings. The visions continue to bring me more and more masterpieces. Since I have come to Regressive Hall, they have only increased in the beauty of their finality. For instance, taking my piece entitled The Five Girls Seeking Light depicts those naive and foolish girls crying for help while oblivious to their crime. Mixture of hope and despair, the weight of the task which they are burdened. Such beautiful girls. Burden of my visions. I'm glad I scared you, by the way. And now the visions spread endlessly before my eyes, and then there is nothing. These visions are the flowers of salvation. Yes, they bring about the salvation that we have been waiting for. We'll all be saved by our own annihilation. Bright, blinding annihilation will boom over this island. All filth and dirtiness will blossom. Stop me and witness the flower woman. See her face filled with the beauty of annihilation. Come, 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 come. So this man was essentially predicting what was going to happen on the island? I'm so glad he was nice to warn all the other people. Are we following this guy now? We can actually go in here. Okay. Oh, well, that ain't creepy. Okay. At least I was being honest with you, you know. I've tried everything to cure. I've dirtied my hands with illegal, unethical experience. I've even performed the rite of descent, ceremony that legends say brought about the day of tranquility. But the rite failed, and now my sister is trapped in limbo, halfway in between life and death. What went wrong? What was missing? Why did I come all this way? It'd be easier for me if I could just forget all of this. It's in this painting. Everyone else is frightened of it, but standing before it, I can feel a sense of peace and calm. My sister, one day she will awaken. Crystal Hall, B1 floor on it. Oh, that one. Okay. Says there's something else there. Maddie, are you moving things behind me now? I'm not a paraplegic, man. Still says there's something over here. Oh, it just wants me to examine. Don't look at me like that. What did I say about looking at me, huh? You want to tussle with this flashlight? Alright, come on. Day of piercing sunshine. I was sitting on the veranda in the courtyard when it appeared. Came up the steps and in the air in the courtyard froze. The one with no face, the one who is dead yet walks. The one with no face looked at a man standing in the garden. His face was destroyed. Those who saw his face had their faces destroyed, and the one with no face went inside the hall as though nothing had happened. It begins. For the first in my life, I, who was born to die, felt a rush of exhilaration. It begins, it has begun. I feel that nervous feeling of anticipation, like a child feels before their first trip away from home to a faraway, unfamiliar place. Let's go a little further than usual for today's walk, somewhere we haven't been in a while. Shall we head to the beach? So that was... ladies. The light may have been a gift for one of the girls? We all do die eventually, yes. I'm confused as to your other thing. Ah, okay. So I just kind of need this. The light to what exactly, I guess, is my question. Bestie of the President, which was the I already have that one. Which was the garden. That's the door. Okay. Oh, the flashlight? Yes, the flashlight was to go to Ruka. We have another pair of glasses. Alright. Yeah, the flashlight was to go to Ruka, and her mother had the flashlight. But it didn't go to her before she disappeared, which is why we, as the detective, now have it. And this flashlight is apparently capable of curing her affliction. Is that even... I think that's the right word. We need to go to the garden, which means we need to go down, and we're on the 3rd floor. Yes, I guess. Is that the way you want to do it? Can we even... Oh, the key's inserted, so we can go to the 4th floor. But we have no... No, we do have a reason to go to the 4th floor, because I forgot to take a picture of something. Where is it? Which one is it on? You. There, got it. Okay, sure, game. I guess we're going to the 2nd floor then. No, she's losing her memories, whereas the ghosts are actually dead people. Oh, which way was it to the garden? Do I need to be on the 2nd floor? Blossoming? Oh, I don't believe she's blossoming. So yeah, we have the key to this, but it told us to go to the garden. And the garden is... courtyard. So yeah, where's that door there? Is it... It's not that door, because that's the connecting... That door. The interior door. Okay. By here, make sure we actually save this time. That's our thing, so we're gonna save over this one. Music's kicking up, which means something's about to happen. We're outside, okay. Why did it feel like it needed oh, cutscene, okay. Yeah, so we're outside, we get a headache. No face lady comes up and oh, hey. Why can't I? Okay. Yeah, yeah. You wanna hug, lady? Come on. Why do you have to whisper talk in text? What? Okay, well that was kind of stupidly easy. Down we go. Oh, well, okay. Have some cough drops and water. Or if you're feeling crazy enough, vodka. Fireball even. There's an item in here. Yoink. I don't think we've actually gone to this door. You know, that's fair. I mean, you could have a couple sips. Where did it just... Okay, whatever. Early in my shift, I dozed off and had a deceivably vivid dream. In the dream, I was standing in front of the door, the one behind which she lies deep in sleep, safely locked away. So there it is, very faint. What is it, a breeze blowing? Breathing? No, it's someone singing. Suddenly the door starts to open. Behind that door is supposed to be a patient, a woman lying asleep on the verge of death, supposedly. The door, which should have been secretly locked, opens with a snickering screech. Don't look, don't look, don't look. Appear through the crack in the door. Eyes, dull, bright eyes. What is it? I don't understand. What is that face? What is it? Ah, we're sharing secrets now. Okay. Hey, how's it going? I'll be with you in just a moment. If you could. I'm looking at the wrong... What? It's this door, right? Nope, it's the other one. Excuse me, ma'am. If you could calm yourself for a moment. Yes, yes. Hello. Jehovah's Witness, open up. Or just fade away. That works too. I'm about to open your door. You better not come screaming through it. Oh, hey. Well, this looks more like a prison rather than... Oh, thanks, door. Aw. You want to tell me more, game? Was where she was and you had to wonder more? No, I opened the wrong door. She was behind the second one. For harvesting is complete, but the chief has yet to give his permission. We must obey the legend. There be one of his who has budded, harvest ye the face of the corpse, tear it off, for without a face they cannot blossom. We are forbidden from harvesting as long as she continues to breathe, but who would say this woman is really alive? True, but she still has breath in her, but just barely. Frosty atmosphere envelops her, freezing the air in one's lungs, and that burning smell that clogs the nostrils. Nothing can mask it, but she has lasted long in this state, too long, I think. She is as the dead, and the time has come to harvest. We are under instructions not to touch her, not to call her name, but I can feel my fear take hold of me. How much longer I can suppress this urge to act? Okay. So somebody was in here.
Kirishima-san.
さやかさん、どうして？
その仮面のかけらをあの子に渡してください。大切なものです。
No, you're hospitalized.
ルカちゃんがどこにいるのか。
あの場所です。あなたが昔ルカを見つけた場所。もうあまり時間がありません。お願いします。
さやかさん。
桐島さん、またあなたに助けられましたね。
No, she was hospitalized 10 years ago when we were given the flashlight and to go investigate the girls. Which means she's recently dead.